Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl JoJo, and I'm here with the review for the newest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I don't know the number, but I'm just gonna warn you guys. I have been at work. Okay, it's 6:30 now, and I've been working since 5:30 this morning. I actually still have on my work clothes, and I'm trying to cover up because I don't want to show any affiliations. But work is very plain Jane. No facial piercings, earrings, hair got to be a certain way. So that's why I kind of look the way that I do or whatever. I look very plain today. But some of y'all probably think I just look normal. So that's fine too. That's fine. But I just want to warn you guys that I am super duper tired. I did the Ready to Love review on my lunch break, but it was 30 minutes long. So I'm going to redo it, cut it down, stop all of that talking and soapboxing, and try to get it down to a workable level. So with that being said, y'all gonna see an attitude tonight. I'm about to go off on the whole cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville because I just feel like I need to do it. There were no favorites on last night. Everybody is going to get a little piece of this pie tonight. I'm not doing a play-by-play. We just going to talk about the episode. So y'all go find it on YouTube because it's up. I ain't going to say the name, but it's up. So y'all know we left off last week with that therapist who's a little hippie. He's a little hippie. Did y'all notice that? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But, all right. So Martell goes to see his formerly bad advice giving mama, because y'all know his mom has been known to give him and Melody some bad advice. And birds of a feather flock together. Speaking of feather, the feathered bangs. Okay, Martell has a type. He chose a woman who reminded him of his mother because she has the same bang that Melody tends to have. And surprisingly, his mother actually gave some good advice this time. His mother basically told him that she is feeling the idea of him and his father getting together, getting to know one another again, trying to rehash the problems that they had in their relationship and moving forward. He was in jail for 20 years. There's a lot that he doesn't know, a lot of stuff he doesn't understand, and you can kind of help him. And even though you feel like there might not be anything you can learn from him, you may still be able to learn something. I thought that was great advice. And I really want to applaud Martell's mama for saying that to him. Because there's a lot of moms who can try to, like once they've spent time raising the child on their own, they kind of like take ownership of every little part of the parenting. They don't want that parent to be there at all, especially if they've been absent for so long. I'm glad she was open to it and opened Martell to it. I appreciated that. So Martell does get with his father, and that was probably one of the best parts of the show. I'm not really sure why his daddy is saying that he was only selling the marijuana and got 20 years. I mean, that might be true, but he must have had enough marijuana to feed the whole city for it to have cost him to get 20 years in jail. But he may have had an organization. I don't really know. But something in the back of my mind told me that it might have been a little more than that narcotic involved. It might have been a little bit more. But it doesn't really matter. He did 20 years in jail, missed out on his child's life, missed out on his the Martell sister's life. And Martell was hurt about it, said that there was a lot of things he missed out on. There's a lot of problems that he's going through currently, even in his marriage, that relate to the fact that his father was not there for him. And you missed a lot. But I have tried to rectify it in my relationship with my children. I know that we don't like Martell. But I will say this episode, it just made me feel sorry for Martell. And I see a lot of comments on Twitter and Instagram, and don't get me wrong, Martell has his moments, but I just felt a different type of way about him. Like the past 2 episodes, it's almost like I kind of understood him, but I didn't want to stay there too long because it felt weird. So I'm just letting y'all know I'm going to throw it out there and I'm going to bring it back. Okay, let's not talk about it ever again. But, yeah, he's been a better father to his children because of the relationship he's had with his father. His father said he never stopped loving him, but, he doesn't try to make excuses, but I don't think he'll ever understand the hurt that Martell has felt behind that. And Martell was looking snackish back in the day, in them pictures. He had a nice build. I mean, he still got a nice build, but I understand. um, but yeah, I thought that was a good part. What did y'all think about the relationship between Martell and his father? What did you all think about his father? Did you feel any differently for Martell after learning about certain, his history and for to not have somebody in your life for 20 years and for them to be in prison? I will say the brother turned out pretty good in spite of. I'll say that. So we can move on. Let's go on over to Miss Wanda and Marsau. Miss Wanda, you looked good. Your skin is flawless. You do not even look 55. You look like you could be in your early 40s. The bodysuit was cool. I kind of liked it on you. The earrings was popping. Love the earrings. Love your attitude. Love your sass. But I'm gonna have to let you know you was wrong. You was wrong. Now, you came to the house allegedly to help Tisha. I was with Marsau. This is not a vacation. You're supposed to be here helping with the children. Okay, cool. In addition to that, when it comes to their marriage, the only person who needs to be handling problems with Marsau is Tisha. That's all. That's it. This is a married couple. Whatever Tisha reveals to you or tells you about, you need to tell her, listen, don't tell me because I get riled up and I want to say something to your husband. Like, I appreciate that you use me to vent, but you already know I'm gonna say something. So if you don't want me to do that, then don't even tell me. And even if she does ask you to do it as her mother, I don't know if Tisha's mom is married or has been married, but if you have, you know that your marriage is going to have a lot less problems if you keep family and friends out of it. That is the one of the number one things that people have told me about marriage, and I take it with me all through the years because it's been the most consistent advice from couple to couple. So don't do it. Even though Tisha wants you to do it, you might even have to check her. And Tisha, you really need to quit getting your mama involved in your business because she's your mother. She feels for you. She's going to want to get involved. I would advise Tisha to stop doing it, and I would definitely advise Miss Wanda to just stay out of it. Now, do I agree with Miss Wanda that Marsau could be a more hands-on dad? Absolutely. Because if you be a more hands-on dad, then your mother-in-law wouldn't have to be there at all. But Marsau wants to call a truce. He wants to just get along with Miss Wanda. And Miss Wanda is fine with the two of them getting along as long as you don't got 20 different women's pregnant. And that is correct, you guys. Women's is the term she's using, so she's taking the plural form and making it even more plural because that's how many women it is. It's women's. Y'all, I'm country. I'm from the country. We do put S on stuff. I say curling irons, flat irons all the time, and I have friends that are just like, do you want to borrow my curling iron, or do you want to borrow multiple curling irons? Do you want to use multiple? Don't get smart with me, girl. You know what I'm talking about. But women's, Marsau, these 20 different women's that I heard about, as long as you ain't got none of them pregnant, then we gonna be good. Marsau doesn't really think that joke is funny, but once again, he doesn't deny it. He just goes with the incredulous act. Like, why would I be sleeping with 20 different women? Like, why would I even do something like that? Why wouldn't you? If you could get away with it, okay? And I would have got away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids. And in this instance, the meddling mother-in-law. But yeah, Miss Wanda, just stay out of it and go back home. Pack your stuff. Don't let these folks raise your pressure, because at the end of the day, that ain't your marriage. It's your daughter's marriage. Alrighty. Who needs to get it next? We're gonna save the best for last. Kimmy, let's go on to you. Now, I like you. You and Maurice are one of my faves. However, I'm gonna have to go in on both of y'all. Stop. You're not gonna get that apology. That apology that you keep asking for, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never get it. You're not gonna get it. And while I do feel for you, and while I do agree that Maurice does need to check a few things around there, and he does need to communicate with you, those are two things that I will never stop agreeing with you on, because those things are right. You are his wife. That's what he's supposed to do. But this whole thing about you and this apology, no, okay, let's go with what was wrong in the scene. Number one, Monster. The first thing that was wrong was that he had on that hat. Where was he going? Why was he looking like that? Whose hat was that? Because there's no way it was his. I wasn't sure if he was going to be an extra on Rent or some other Broadway musical, but he just looked like any moment he was going to go da-da-da and then back up and see what you thought about it. But I didn't think anything of it. I thought the hat shouldn't have been on his head. It was too old for him. Then we move forward. The second problem was the fact that you brought that conversation up while Monster was in earshot. Now, granted, Monster is the only child, I think, and Kia was home. So he probably used to kind of being in grown folk business anyway. I was like that when I was the only child. So it happens. But for you to send him off to go get ready for dinner and not think that he's going to probably hear your conversation, your house is not as big as Mel's house. And even her house probably got echoes and stuff where you can hear. You got to be careful when you're around children. He did that stutter step and turned around when he heard his mother's name, and he shouldn't have to do that. Y'all shouldn't have been having that conversation while that boy was around. That's something y'all should have saved, or y'all could have took it outside or wherever else. So that's the second thing that was wrong. The third thing that was wrong is because you're so irritated with what the real issue is, you finding yourself upset over little petty things. What was wrong with him just going to get Mexican food and the sushi? Okay. What was wrong with him just bringing extra Mexican for Jalen if that's what Jalen wanted? Jalen is a grown man. When I was 20-something years old and I would come home for the summer, there would be a lot of times when nobody asked me what I wanted to eat. Not because they didn't care, but because sometimes they didn't remember, like I wasn't a part of the routine. But Maurice, I wouldn't have went back and forth with her. She was clearly annoyed that day. I would have just went and said, Jalen, I'm getting Mexican. What you want? And I would have left it at that. But I think Kimmy is just upset. She's irritated, and I understand. But she brought it back around to Maurice only thinking about Monster and himself and not really considering anybody else. And it is a blended family, Maurice. You do have to consider everybody's feelings. And I think she probably would have been fine with you skipping over Jalen and just bringing home the Mexican for everybody to eat. There were no options if this whole thing wasn't going down with Kia the way it was. I honestly think she's upset. She's upset about the details because of what's really going on in the big picture. And you do need to think about your wife. And you do need to consider your wife. But Kimmy, you need to start hopping on that apology. You're not going to get it. And if you do get it, it's not going to be genuine. So what's the point? Kia has a whole YouTube channel telling her side of the story. And the thing about it is, Kimmy, you have something even better than an apology. You got a platform. You have a platform where the ex-wife comes on and we get to see how she is. You don't have to say a word. We can see it. And I don't know what all has gone on in Maurice and Kia's past, but we do know that in person, her attitude is not the best. So you don't even need to get an apology. Your apology comes in the form of a platform. We see her. You don't need to say anything else. But that's all I really have, Kimmy. Just stop all that, because in a little while, you're going to start to take the way that we feel for Kia and you're going to start putting it on yourself because we're going to start looking at you with the side eye in a minute like, well, why she keep bringing up the fact that he thinks about Monster? Is she mad? Is she selfish? I saw some of that going on social media. I don't think that because I know what your bigger issue is. But yeah, girl, just use your platform. Kia going to make herself look however Kia going to look. And that's that on that. I'm trying to get my drink together. Let's move on. And Maurice, I don't think you're defending your wife appropriately. I know you say you're doing it. I don't want you to cuss Kia out or anything like that because I know you got to keep the peace. But I don't think you're doing it the way you say you're doing it. I think you're being real passive around them phones and them in-person meetings. Cut it out. Okay, tell Kia, look, you're not going to talk about her. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to talk about Monster, and we're going to keep it moving. As soon as you start mentioning that, the conversation is over. And if she start cutting up, you might have to take her to court. And that's it. I'm done. Mel. Somebody wrote a tweet on Twitter and they said that I really like Melody Hope, but I will admit there's always 5 to 10 sentences that she says during the episode that I can't rock with. And that is exactly how I feel about Mel. There's times where I think she is funny. There's times where I think her assessments are dead on. And then there are other times where I just like, get off my screen. Get off my TV screen. Because she will cut up. And that's what she did on this episode. So let's start with the fact that she went to go do this photo shoot and we saw the wig. We all saw the wig. We all felt how we felt about the wig. I don't have a problem so much with the color Actually, I did, because Mel is light, and sometimes the platinum blonde washes her out. So I kind of wanted it to be darker, but there's other times where it looks good on her. It's weird. The wig was too dense. There was too much density to the wig. It was just around the part, and then her features are small. Melody has very bird-like features, very delicate, very soft, and so all of that hair swallows her face. I just didn't like the look. Now, when the bob in the confessional, yes, good length. Okay, the color was right. When her hair does not need to go past here, and it doesn't need to be so much of it, because like I said, her features are very soft and delicate. All that hair just doesn't look good on her, and it didn't look good this episode. um she goes to does her photo shoot, or whatever it is she's doing, and she felt like the wig looked so good, although we disagreed, that she was going to wear it to Kimmy's event. Kimmy's event, to me, looked like it got better over time. When it first started out, wasn't that many people, but then when they lined up for food, it looked like a whole bunch of people. So it ain't but 6 o'clock, but y'all know we done fell back, so it's dark. I thought her event went okay. It's her first event. It may not be a hit like that. Hell, Mimosas with Mel wasn't packed, so but I think that might have been, so it was supposed to be intimate, but yeah, so it wasn't as many people as she thought it was going to be. But for her, she was still satisfied with her event. If you're going to come to somebody's event, don't come to throw shade. If you're going to come to throw shade, then stay at home. I don't understand people like that. Why would you come out to something just to talk about it the whole time? I remember a friend of mine was having her wedding, and she was going to invite certain people or whatever, but then she had heard through the grapevine, which it did end up being true, because I also had talked to that person, was just like, they gonna go just to talk about it, or just to see what's going on. Why? What you gonna go to something for, especially something as intimate as a wedding, something that's important to me like my event? What you gonna come just to talk nasty about it for? So first of all, Melody and Martell were late, so people had left, and then she gonna comment that it ain't no people there. Of course it ain't no people there. The event been going on for 2 hours, girl. You late. You're late. We don't already serve food and everything, and you need to be concerned. What was going on in them shorts? Now, is that Mel's butt? Because I've never seen her butt look like that. Her butt looked, something was going on in the back. It almost looked like it was kind of like looked like she had on like booty pops, but she might not have. Booty pops, sometimes if you're not careful, they'll mush up at the top and they'll be full at the bottom, so it gives you like a diaper booty type of look. I hope that's not what you had on, Mel, but something about them shorts didn't flatter you. So that's something we need to take a look at. Then you had on that wig, which people shaded the whole episode. Then you get out there and talk about the girls' event. You offer to help break stuff down or whatever, and you just like, I don't know what event Kimmy's talking about went well, because this event was a hot mess. Word. That's what you do. You go to somebody's event and go off in the comments like that, but to her face, you ain't had that same energy. I was just like, all right, Mel, I see what you're doing, and I see your wig too. So we're not even going to continue to discuss the event. Let's move on. Kimmy, what was up with the fact that you didn't just say Tisha was at a leadership conference? Did Tisha tell you not to tell nobody? Don't make it look like she didn't come. What you do that for? I'm giving you the side eye again. Why? Why did you do that? You could have just said she's at her conference. That's why she's not here. But instead, you was like, she's got a lot going on, to which you knew was going to give Mel the opportunity to start talking junk. I don't understand that. I don't understand how that worked. Did the producers put you up to that? Let me know. Because I know y'all got Carlos King in there, and he will get a party started. So just let me know if that's what would happen. But Mel was just like, we all have a lot going on, and I could just, judging from the fact that nobody shows up to my events, girl, I see how you and Martell got together. I do. I really, really do. But let's keep going. The comeback group. I've been sick of the comeback group since season 1, episode 3. Since y'all got started with the comeback group, we've all been sick of it. I think the viewers would rather y'all separate at this point, because if y'all not going to do anything together worth having, What's the point of having a group together? I agree with that. Now, Mel and Martell had whatever conversation they had before y'all got there, that they were going to dissolve the group or that they weren't going to be in the group. But when y'all went around the room and started talking about the hopes that y'all had for the comeback group, which were good, they were good. They were, I will say that. And how y'all had just let things in your friendship get in the way of the business, Martell had a change of heart. And when Martell had a change of heart, he had to go get it right with his wife in the back. Martell, Melody never agreed with you. What she said was, so now because somebody batting their lashes and being nice, now you want to give people another chance. You the second chance man. I said he is the second chance man. And you are the second chance woman because you've given him plenty of chances. But I digress. Mel is not feeling it. She doesn't want to be in the comeback group. She doesn't care what kind of sidebar conversation that Martell wants to have with her. She basically told him, I'm not in the comeback group. Martell is in the comeback group. I'm not really in the comeback group like that. And so Tisha's just like, well, what if we give y'all 24 hours? Do y'all need to think about it? Martell said, no, we don't need to think about it. We are in the comeback group. To which Melody tells him, you pulling a Marsau. I said, see, and I was glad that Tisha said, you know what, let's just end the meeting. And I agree with her because it was going to go to another route. It was going to get ugly. And Mel, why did that wig get longer? It looked like something from some type of Halloween store. It don't fit your face. It needed some layers. It was really a mess. That's all I can really say about it. But the problem with Melody and Martell is their problems with their marriage begin to spill over into their business conversations because Mel kept bringing up, like, how we going to be in the comeback group when we having problems in our marriage? That really doesn't have anything to do with her marriage, but their problems are starting to spill over into their business relationships. Even the fact that Martell was so hard down telling her that they were going to be in it. Martell, we know he has insecurities. He talked about it. He talked about it in his counseling. So of course he's going to get offended that Mel is going to sit there and embarrass him in front of their friends. I think he is tired of being belittled. Not even belittled. I think he's tired of feeling little in his relationship, and that's spilling over into the business. So if I were Kimmy and Maurice and Tisha and Marsau, I would be like, you know what? I think you guys are right. Maybe we don't need to get the comeback group going. And when Mel kept saying they need us, what do they bring to the table? We bring everything to the table. I'm not saying that Mel was wrong. I'm just saying that if these are her supposed friends, that was one heck of a put down. And it was very narcissistic in nature. Like, we're the only ones that's doing anything. We're the only ones that's talented. They're not talented. When you all have said that they bring their own talents to the table. So was that a lie? And like Martell said, if we're going to be doing it anyway, why we can't do it? You know? I think that the comeback group should be Martell's project and his project alone. I think Melody should be out of it. And I think the comeback group should be the 5 of them. And see what y'all can do with that. Martell, you've been wanting to run something? Run the comeback group. All right? See how that goes. But if Melody doesn't want to be a part, she doesn't have to be a part. And as far as the other 4, how do you say that they don't bring anything to the table and you all end up doing all the work when part of the problem was on the last group meetings y'all had, y'all wanted to do all of the work and wanted them to kind of step back and worry about the other little details. So it's kind of like that person that say they're going to organize and plan everything, but then complain when don't nobody ask, do they need any help? Y'all said y'all wanted to do it by yourself. So what do y'all need help with? You know what I'm saying? That's what it gave me the feels of. But that's really it. Melody is mad about a whole lot of other things. The comeback group is just going to be collateral damage. But I don't think they need to be working together anyway because it's just too many other issues going on. Y'all can let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all for the next one. All right? Bye.